My name is Teresa Smith, and I'm the CEO for Dreams for Change, and we operate what's called the Safe Parking Program here in San Diego. So what the Safe Parking Program is, it's a program for those who are homeless and living in other cars. And what we do is we offer a parking lot for them to park in every night, and then we provide them with extensive services to really try to help them get out of their homeless situation and back into housing or long-term programs. We started the program back in April 2010. And started on a small lot and served about, over 1,000 people in the 2.5 years that we were, been operating. We see a little bit of every type of client, individuals, from singles to couples to families with multiple children, single parents, veterans, young, old. This issue has really affected everyone. And they come because they've had multiple issues. Majority of them, what we find, is they've been displaced due to economic reasons, loss of job, loss of home. We also have another percentage of the group that comes through this program because of medical issues. A sudden health problem has just caused them to, ultimately lose their source of income and the cost of the health care. So there's a variety of host of situations that wind up people in this situation and come to us. We are here out at the parking lot right now with the program. When we operate, like I mentioned, we're here 7 nights a week, 365 days a year. Staff are here every night. I have social workers that work with these individuals, and we do everything right in the lot. As you can see, Rich, it is just a parking lot. We operate out of a van, in its essence that we have our paperwork, any types of donations that we receive to help provide to the clients, all get stored in this van. At any point in time, a client is not left alone. We take turns staying here overnight. I also hold my shift here. So in our van, you can see we have a mattress and our own little setup for our overnight shift. We feel it's important to provide that extra sense of safety for our clients. So, we're here to be, with them, and so they know they're not alone, and always been able to provide those resources. This is, hasn't been the easiest program to operate. We've been trying to replicate this in other parts of the county here in San Diego. And I've had some uphill battles with really that not my backyard type attitude to some of the cities, even though the need is there. Reports just released, San Diego here in California has the 3rd highest rate of homelessness in the country. It's an ongoing issue, and it's not necessarily getting better. And we see an influx of people not only from our own city and our own region, but people that come throughout the country from different states and different parts, of our area. So it's definitely not a unique problem to our region, as I'm sure you're starting to become aware of. But we've had some great success. It isn't all doom and gloom. It isn't all nothing about homelessness. When our participants work with us, we're having over 70% of them actually go back into housing and stabilize and not end up on the streets. Some of our biggest fears is that they're going to lose their car in the process of this downward spiral of homelessness. And it is much more difficult to get up off the streets than it is to when you have your vehicle, because you can still look for a job, you can still get your kids to and from school. So we're really trying to provide that stopgap and really move people forward before they end up on the streets. So that's kind of what our program is here. We have different groups that work with us that come down, provide meals to our different participants. We do activities with the children. It really is a very comprehensive own little community that we create here. So people have that support and know that they're not alone and they can move forward. So it's the Safe Parking Program. It seems to be a model that works. We wish we can do more at times, but with our limited resources, we definitely do what we can. So when we first started the program, and started looking at the Safe Parking Program as a potential solution or at least an assistance to those who are homeless in their vehicles. It really was at the start of, our recession. We started seeing a different type of people come through our doors at our nonprofits, ones that never or haven't traditionally hit social services. And they had different skill sets, they had certain assets such as cars, and they really didn't know how to access services or felt that they didn't quite fit into the traditional homeless services. So they kept to themselves, maintained their car in their cars. And they'd often, when they'd go down to the shelters, they were often told that they had to get rid of their car. It was a liability. It was money that they could have in their pocket. But we knew as a reality that money wouldn't last long. 2 months at the most, and then what? Now they don't have transportation to do what they need to do to move on with their lives. So I worked with a local university, San Diego State University, and a local law school to really look at this particular program to see what it would take to operate such a unique program that hasn't been operated before, a parking lot where homeless people can stay. So they did some extensive research, took a look at what legally it would take, what zoning requirements that we'd have to take a look at and abide by in different municipal codes. And the social work students from the university really looked at what type of services, how can we really help and integrate services to move these people back into housing. And they presented us with this packet of the safe parking. At the time, the organization I worked with and the group that I worked with, Collaborative, that focused on homelessness, thought the program was great, but didn't really want to take it on. It didn't have a funding source to make it happen. And it was a unique project in the sense that it didn't necessarily qualify for shelter-type funding. And so, it was kind of scary for most of them to take on. And, seeing that reluctance has really gave me the drive to find and to start our nonprofit, Dreams for Change, and to, take this program and to actually launch it. Because we believe in trying to do some things, different and add a little innovation to really try to make things work.